to Exploring Sovereignty with Elizabeth. Really, it's about exploring sovereignty with humans and humanity as we contemplate, discover, unearth pathways to becoming more sovereign, authentic, and free, and really stepping into our fullest capabilities as humans, which I'm not even sure we've fully tapped into, especially as we sit in the full experience of being human. And part of that is also coming into form and going out of form. And I had the experience at the time of this recording a week ago of having my mom die and pass away. She was 86 at the time of her death, and or transition of leaving her body. And she has taught me a lot, and no one can ever prepare you for the death of your parent. In terms of like, I always knew many people who have lost a parent, but going through it is its own unique experience, similar to when you make any major life shift, whether it's choosing to become partnered or do marriage, or if you decide to have children. It's sort of that before and after moment. And people can tell you that it's happening, but the full experience is very unique and different. And I got to be with my mom after she had transitioned, and it's such a sacred space to be with the body as the spirit has recently left it, because the spirit is still near it and around it and can sense and feel the body, even though just outside of it. And it was definitely tender time, and it's given me a much closer experience or look at the process of grieving and the process of healing. And oftentimes you will sometimes, I've noticed that I've experienced grief with healing, that sometimes as I grieve the old pattern or let go of the old pattern or situation, in order for the healing and the new energy to come, it's like this heavy layer moves out of me. And when my mom died a week ago, it really felt like what happens with the trees, and that before a tree dies, it sends out all the energy into the root system to all the other trees. And I really felt that. I felt that the day my mom died, that I was unusually tired. It caught my attention in a different way than just a day that you have low energy. And a few weeks before it, I had really felt my mom's mom around me, kind of trying to get my attention. And so it's this liminal space that we get to start to pay attention to as we move through the grief of losing a parent, and the marking of, they're not lost, they've transitioned. There isn't that physical presence, but I felt my mom near me a lot since she has transitioned. And as I've sorted through some of her belongings and papers and helped to write her obituary, to give a flavor for her life, I came upon this something she had written. And I think it's very apropos for our conversation here, but also as humans on the planet at this time. My mom had written, "We are on a journey from the moment we are born, moving through life in cycles of beginning and endings, experiencing and changing as we go. We are meant to be with one another in community as we discern how the spirit is in our lives." And this was on her resume that I came across. And watching how my mom had shifted and transitioned, and the courage it took for her to navigate some pretty deep waters of her own living experience, I had a different healing happen when I was with her the last time, like about 10 days before she transitioned, of understanding the courage it's taken to be in a body at this time, the bravery, the space her body was holding, even when her consciousness was tired of being in a body, as she aged and dealt with some of the conditioning around aging. Because I do think as the longer we're in our bodies, hopefully the more consciousness and mastery we bring, but that is countercultural. And my mom was experiencing more of what we are conditioned to believe happens to our body as we get older. And so I just wanted to share a little bit of the tender space that I'm in with all of you. And for those who have experienced the death of a parent or a parent transitioning out of their body into the other realms, however you make sense of it, I'm sending a lot of compassion, and have noticed that in this tender space, I've had to be more gentle with myself. And there are waves upon waves of experiencing the grief of it. And then the moments of like, okay, we just need to get the next thing completed in preparation to celebrate her life, and to witness how the ripples of the roots that she sent out, the energy she sent out on that last day where she was in her body on earth, how that is manifesting and what seeds she planted that will continue to blossom and grow and change. So I'm curious and consciously observing the grief process and noticing what arises for me in this, and how I get to integrate the experience and celebrate the experience, and also the seismic shift that is really a felt experience that I haven't felt before. So thanks for being with me for a few minutes this afternoon or evening or whenever you're listening to this podcast. And for anyone who has experienced the death of a parent, no matter the harmony you may have had with them or the complications of the relationship that you've had with them, may you be comforted by the process of moving through it and the integration that is offered. So this is Exploring Sovereignty with Elizabeth. And if you have insights you want to share, I'm always happy to hear. Thank you.